Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Chrono Cross walkthrough. We are in Viper Manor, actually kind of outside, and this is the Dragoon, or Dragon pens. We are going to spend a bit of time here, just feeding the dragons. This is I think this is called the Stable Master, and basically all you really actually have to do is feed them 10 times. To get the key to the inside of the manor, and that's needed to continue on. I'm going to obtain all of the rewards here. To be honest, this game is pretty easy. Really, all you have to do is fill up the food on the left side there. You can see Surge kind of stands, I don't know, he's not in front of any of the pens. And then just press the X button and you'll stock up on food. And then basically you just kind of cruise back and forth in between the dragons. The dragons will, they've got a little graphic there for when they're hungry. So there you see the reward for feeding 10 times was the knee pad. And that's a nice little item to get right now. I think we stole one. Yeah, we stole one in the last video from Zoa too. So should be up to about 2 of them now. Those are just nice. They add a little bit of defense. And again, we're severely limited on how many accessories we have right now, so you may as well equip that. So we're gonna go right for 100 times. It got a little rough here towards the end. I don't remember exactly how you fail this game. Is if it's like a certain dragon, if you don't feed them enough time, they become like red, and I think that's how you lose. So you can probably fail to feed the same dragon, like, I mean, it's at least twice, maybe even 3 times. But if you fail to feed that same dragon a 4th time, I believe that ends the game. Again, I'm not even sure. I actually don't remember the last time I lost this game. So if you've got a turbo controller, obviously that's going to help you out a ton. I did not, so I just have to kind of do this manually. The strategy here, though, I would say that I don't think I ever really had a strategy previously, but I would say that a good idea is to fill up on food and then actually wait all the way to the right-hand side. And the reason for that is because that way when one of the dragons becomes hungry, you can just charge over towards the left, and then kind of, bashing the X button as you go. And then, then stock up on food and then cruise back over to the right. And that's basically what you'll see me doing, over and over. And, yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Now, you can see here so you can see the guy on the far left there. I have failed to feed him twice now. It looks like the guy on the far right now has been... I failed to feed him once. Same with now this guy to the second to the left. So we'll see how this all ends up turning out. But yeah, wow, they really kind of go crazy here towards the end. And especially if you've missed feeding them a couple of times. But anyways, yeah, so we're almost done here. There it is. So that's the win. I don't know how close I got to failing. I feel like that was probably really close. Specifically the guy on the far right and then the one on the far left, because they were extremely red. But that's the toughest one. Obviously, it's all downhill from here. And you can't obtain the same reward more than once. So once you've fed them 100 times, you don't ever have to worry about feeding them that many again. Now look here, the next time is going to be 40. So like I said, this is going to be a walk in the park compared to the 100th time. Now the Iron Vest, that's the best armor that we've got right at this point. I'll actually end up dismantling that iron armor to make Surge's next weapon upgrade. I feel like that's a really good way to go about it. Just because, again, I really favor Surge's weapon. And actually, I would say I think that this is the first time I've ever actually done that in a playthrough. Normally, I would just, either hang on to the vest or dismantle the vest and make an iron mail out of it instead. I typically tend to go with the mail over the vests in this game. I know that the vest gives you a little better evasion rating, but I usually just go for the defense for whatever reason. I don't know what's actually indeed like statistically better. I don't feel like it really makes that much of a difference, anyway. So anyways, all right, so there's the recover all. You'll definitely want to really try to get that. If you're having problems trying to feed 100 times, don't worry about it too much. That iron vest, I mean, it's awesome, granted, and I feel like it's really going to give Surge a really good boost, especially when we can dismantle that and make his next weapon. But if you're having problems, don't worry about it too much. But that recover all element is extremely powerful. That I would definitely say at the very least you should try to get that. If you're here and trying to feed the dragons. So what exactly does it do? It does exactly what you think. It heals everybody. So it's a multi-target heal spell. I don't actually know how many multi-target heal spells there are in this game. Now that I think about it. Again, I would really recommend getting that. I actually end up equipping it on Surge. Probably the biggest reason is because he's I use his physical abilities in combat. So then usually at the end of combat, he's got a bunch of element levels saved up, and that heal all element is great for post battle healing. Now it's great for in combat as well. If you feel like your characters are getting a bit low, obviously it's a good way to use it as well. But especially for the random encounters in the game, I really feel like it's a good thing to keep it on him, and then just have that for post battle healing. So put it on whoever you want, but that's how I like to do it. And all right, so what is this time? Was this 30 or was that 20 already? I missed. All right, bronze helmet. Okay, so that's decent. That must have been it. Yeah, so that must have been the last time. And I missed the reward for 30. I was talking too much apparently. But anyway, all right. So here I'm going to equip the recover all. I think I stuck that in his for his third tier. I wanted it to be fairly powerful, and I think that's a good spot for it. You don't want it, really to be, you don't want to dumb it down much. It's a really good element, and you kind of want it to be at least fully powered or semi-powerful. So I wouldn't put it in a tier 1 or tier 2 spot. I equipped the iron vest on Surge. I'm not sure if that was the best choice. To be honest, I feel like Lena is probably a better choice just because she's got less. I think she's got less HP. Maybe not anymore. Okay, so she's at 100. Okay, yeah. Actually, wow. Okay, so Kid is actually has the least amount of HP. And actually, I think that's probably the case because in previous games I've played, I felt like Lena ended up being extremely underpowered, but I think that was because, underpowered in comparison to maybe Kid and Surge. But I think that's because, I use Kid and Surge so much, so maybe I just have a different perspective on, who's weak and who's not. I'm not really sure. Anyways, long story short, I don't know if that actually may have been a better choice for Kid, frankly. And again, that's mostly because she's got the least amount of HP of these characters right now. So to try to make up for that, you could almost say weakness. You can equip that. But anyways, let's move on here. As you can see, now I actually do have Kid equipped with a bronze dagger right now. After the whole after the Shadow Forest there, and going through the cave, and I actually spent a little bit of time farming the wraiths just to get a little bit of extra copper, and you know, then I was able to make a new dagger for her. I don't think I made a new weapon for Lena though. As I said in the previous video, I think I was missing a carapace, and I didn't go out of my way to try to find one. So I don't know if those are available or not right now. They very well could have been if I would have, you know, potentially maybe gone into the Hydra marshes. There, I might have been able to find one in there, but anyways, all right. So we've got a turn blue element. Now there's a little path here that leads down into the bluffs. You can't go down there right now because Kid basically won't let you. Actually, I should say that for storyline reasons, you can't go down there yet. And that's not a huge loss. There's not much down there. There's a couple of elements, and that's frankly that's about it. We will end up going down there a little bit later just to, you know, try to grab those extra items. But that will be in our return to Viper Manor. Basically, they just don't really let you. Like I said, they don't really let you leave once you enter here until certain events happen. So, anyways, all right. So we've got some. What are these guys? Acacia privates, and these guys. What do they have? Capsule. Okay. I don't remember if they've got a decent steel or not. I vaguely remember like maybe a bronze helmet or something like that. Or maybe that's the sergeant. That actually might be the sergeant. So that probably would be worthwhile to steal if you can get into you know, combat with some of the sergeants, which I actually do, I believe here. I kind of explore the grounds first and grab. There's a couple of different treasure chests. Obviously, we got the turn blue element, and I know there's another turn element coming up. It may be like a turn green or something like that. And so we'll grab those, and then I like I said, I will end up coming back and grabbing. Actually, I should say coming back and you know, kind of getting into some fights with these enemies on the grounds. Now that the big green spotlight will actually spawn a group of enemies, and they'll come running after you. And that's actually a good way to get the, you know, if you want to get into those fights with the Acacia sergeants, I believe they are. So that's how you can get into, you know, fights with them. And like I said earlier, they've got a good semi-decent steel, I guess. If you haven't obtained bronze helmets yet, you can actually farm a couple of those up if you want. I think they end up with like the same defense power as like the poultice caps and the antiviral caps, so I didn't bother. And okay, so that guy, the rare steel, looks like is the ivory helmet, which, you know, pretty much junk. Frankly, we've got better already, or I've got better anyway. If you're, you know, maybe potentially missing one or two, you know, I guess you could try to steal them from these guys. But again, that's the rare steel. I don't really feel like it's worth the time, and frankly, like I said earlier, the sergeants have the bronze helmet, so there really isn't any reason to try to steal from those. Alright, so let's continue on here. I'm gonna avoid these guys at the entrance here for the time being. Yeah, looks like two more privates. So this is another. I don't know if I just got unlucky with these random guys in the courtyard, I guess you could call this area. But I actually didn't end up getting into any fights with the sergeants. I believe though the two enemies at the gate there I did. So you'll see you know, like I said, I'm pretty sure I steal a bronze helmet at the very least from him. Alright, we gotta be almost done here. Crushing these guys down, and that's kind of the nice thing about having upgraded weapons right now, is all these random encounters just kind of go by a little bit quicker. Okay. Tablets. All kinds of tablets. Boy, I ended up with just a ton in my inventory. Which is kind of nice. Oh, okay, so that's an ointment. That's... I actually thought that was something else. But that's okay. Alright, here is the treasure chest. I'm pretty sure this is a turn. There you go. Okay, so that's turn yellow. And here you can overhear the two guards talking about the guest, or General Viper's guest. So he sounds like he's kind of a creepy dude. Everybody's kind of on the same page. I believe I'm actually gonna go back here and save. And I'm not sure here if I run into the spotlight or not. That would be, hopefully I do, just to show you guys exactly what happens. Yep, there we go. So that spawns an enemy. And like I said, this is actually a really good way to spawn the sergeants. You know, so if you want to try to steal from the sergeants, you very well can. So I'll show you here. I don't remember what their rare steal is. I guess, actually I can look that up here really quickly. Acacia Sergeant here. Alright, so their common steal is a bronze helmet. Their rare is a capsule. So the capsule is actually pretty lame. It's the crappier, I would say, of the two steals. Which is kind of interesting that the you know, the rare steal I would think is worse, but that's okay. So like I said, you know, if you need some bronze helmets, if you feel like you know, you're lacking, or you know, if you need more copper, you know, those bronze helmets can be dismantled for copper. So, you know, I guess just keep that in mind too. If you're you know, if you need to make some more copper weapons or something. So that's another way to obtain copper. And to be honest, you know, this is probably the easiest way, and maybe the quickest way to farm that copper. So again, if that's something that you're looking into or want to do, then I would say that this is probably the best spot. The Wraith back in the cave, you know, that's an okay way to do it. It's much more time consuming. So, you know, if you want a lot of that, then this is your spot. Anyways, right after this, I'm gonna head back in to the save point and just save my game, and then we'll pick it back up. We'll pick the walkthrough back up, and we'll actually head into the interior of the manor. But anyways, I hope this guide was helpful, and hope you join me for more. All right, thanks for watching.